Awesome. Well, welcome to our December Building Nations call. I'm so excited. We're going to have recognition for all of our awesome regions and a spectacular training by two lovelies. You'll see what I mean with the other one. We're going to have one virtually training on this virtual training. And both of these ladies have earned the Arbonne incentive trip multiple times, and I asked them with the new trip being announced on December 1st to Atlantis, where I've been, to just give us the inside scoop. But we are going to begin first and foremost with recognition, my favorite part. My name is Arbie, if we have not had the pleasure of meeting, and I'm your National Vice President. And in qualification for district manager with $2,500 or more. So this is a change that we've made in the month of December for recognition last month, and we will do this moving forward. So everyone that is in qual with 2,500 or more. We have Tamara Toof in Nebraska, sponsored by myself. Goff Adam in Virginia, sponsored by Megan Buccelli. Monica Pillor in Virginia, sponsored by Megan Buccelli. Brooke Francis in Virginia, sponsored by Tammy McDevitt. Inessa Dalton in Michigan, sponsored by Stephanie Manor. Congratulations to all of you ladies, and I know that you will be bringing it home this month. New district managers. Oh, hold on, I want to make sure there was one addition. We have Carrie Murphy in Virginia, sponsored by Megan Buccelli. We have Nicole Leo in Virginia, sponsored by Jeanette Stoneman. And we have Monette Wilder in New York, sponsored by Genevieve Fiorito. In qualification for area, so really at the point where we are starting to build a team, what's great about going into area manager, becoming an area manager, is not only does we have more people to play with in the sandbox, if you will, but we also can will our businesses. Our checks are growing, so we create more opportunities truly at area manager. That was the point as a strong area where I was able to step away from what I was doing and make some different choices. So this can be really a life-changing level. And I want to congratulate Arlene Kirstick, sponsored by Toya Vernon Watson in Virginia, for being in qualification for area. We have, drum roll please, halfway to region, smelling the leather in their white Mercedes-Benz. And you guys, I have to say, as an aside, I did actually drive the car I was driving prior to building an Arbonne business last week. It was an El Camino. Some of you might have known that. I was actually getting winter tires put on the Benz that I drive. It's a beautiful car. And I was driving this loaner around and I'm like, wah! And then I got back into the Mercedes. And you guys, if this could be a feeling of, you want this car. Like, seriously, you want it. I'm just saying. And we want to help you get it. But halfway to region, we have Kathy Rust, sponsored by Megan Buccelli. And we have Jessie Collier in Virginia, sponsored by Carly Funkhauser. So you guys are on a mission, and I'm so excited for what's happening in your businesses. Halfway to nation, the tippity top of the company is Angela Medeiros in Virginia, sponsored by myself. So congratulations to all of our people that are in qual and newly promoted. We look forward to many more coming. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to this amazing woman, Executive Area Manager Jessie Collier, who I have been so blessed to call a friend and a business partner. Jessie is, she's a little firecracker. Like, if you don't know her, you need to get to know her. She is fun. When you go on this trip, you are going to want to be around her. But she is business savvy. She's a stay-at-home mom building a multi-million-dollar business. And I love how she works us around nap time and still gets it done. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Miss Jessie. You look gorgeous, by the way.
Well, thank you. My Arbonne green shirt that I got from Stitch Fix.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you for the intro. So we're going to see if I can share the screen and not completely screw this up. I've done this a couple times today, so I think I've got the hang of it. So I posted this on the Building Nations Together page, and if you don't already have a vision board after last month's training with Andy, then this can be your first picture on it when you create it tonight after the call or tomorrow. And this is just really claiming that you have earned the AIT trip to the Bahamas. And this trip is from October 23rd through the 28th. So something that I did when I was going for the cruise this year was block out those dates on my calendar and just say, I'm going on vacation from October 23rd through the 28th of 2016. So I recommend that you do that and print this picture. So that's the first thing. Let me clear up. So how this is going to work is I am going to share sort of the nuts and bolts from a numbers perspective that many of you probably have already seen from the email from Arbonne Corporate or on the source about the qualifications. And some of you may have looked at those numbers and either thought, oh, okay, I can do that, or really? Can I really do that? And the answer is yes, you absolutely can, whether you're brand new or you've been in this business for a while. They really create this program to make it so that anybody and everybody who is actively building their business can absolutely earn this trip. What are you looking for, Andy? I can't hear you anyway. Let's see if I can pull up the qualifications.
I was going to put on my calendar, download that picture. But
okay.
Calendar is where I
Good.
get it. So continue.
All right. So this goes into the qualifications, which you've probably already seen if you've checked it out from, this is what the document looks like here. So it talks about what this trip includes, what each day consists of, the dining options in the bar, which this is all inclusive, which is super exciting. And this was one of our stops on the cruise. And so I have been to Atlantis before, but I had to pay for it. So this is so much nicer to not have to pay for it. And all the activities like swimming with dolphins that you can choose from. But I really wanted to get down to this qualification period. Okay, so the moral of the story is that August volume counts and it's double volume in December for consultants who register for the trip in December. So that's an awesome bonus that you get to use more volume than just December through May. You can also use August, but you have to register for the trip in December, and I'll get to that in a second. And brand new consultants that register between January and May will receive double volume in their start month when they register for AIT in their start month. So brand new consultants that register in December can count December double like the rest of the consultants who register, but also new consultants that register after December can get double volume in their start month as long as they register for their trip in the start month. So hopefully that's clear. So all you have to do to register is log on to your website and click on My Events and scroll down to Conferences, and then you'll see the selection for AIT. To be able to register, you just click the button that says register. It's only $40 to register for it. So that's all you need to do. And that's basically just putting some skin in the game, telling Arbonne you're going for this trip, which we all are, right? And so as you look at these qualifying volumes from level 1 to level 5, my biggest thing that I like to do is cut down goals into bite-sized pieces to make it more realistic. And as you do that, then you see that this trip is absolutely earnable. So level 1 is a selfie stick. Level 2 is the travel set, or the toiletry bag. And then level 3 is really what I wanted to focus on, and that is the trip for 5 nights, 6 days for 1. And then obviously there's still, you can earn it for 2 or earn it for 2 plus bonus cash. So I really wanted to focus on that level 3. And so the number one thing is that you have to promote 3 managers during the qualification period, and you have to have 75,000 in central district qualifying volume. So when you break that down, you say 75,000 divided by 6, which are the number of months that you have to qualify for it from December to May. That gives you 12,500 a month in district volume. But if you register in December and you get to count August as well, that brings that average down to 10,715. So if you're someone that has not reached the 10,000 in central district volume, which I see some eyeballs like, don't worry about it, because here is a huge thing that helped me when I earned this trip, because I wasn't getting that in my central district either. But what was awesome was that I was promoting leaders. And when you promote managers between January and May 1st, you get to count their central district volume towards your numbers too, which is awesome. And we're getting some feedback. So I'm going to stop sharing that. I can't mute this one. Okay. So that really covers my take on the numbers side of things. So I really wanted to bring in Angela Medeiros, who was awesome enough to record a video for us to watch. And so she's going to cover the big picture, the vision, and some of her takeaways. And then when she's done, I'm going to finish up the training with my biggest takeaways. So let me coordinate this again. Don't you just love technology? It's amazing. All right, so you should be able to see this.
Hello, Arbanistas. Angela Medeiros, and I am an Executive Regional Vice President with Arbie International, and I'm here to talk to you about the Arbie AIT trip to Atlantis. How exciting. I can just see us now all away from the fire engines and all the crazy noise of the city, just enjoying the beach together in Atlantis. It's going to be so much fun. And I'm just going to tell you, everything that Arbie does is over the top, so you need to be there. I'm going to talk about a couple things. First, I'm going to be talking about setting a specific goal to win the trip, and then also visualizing yourself being there. And I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you are right. So I want to encourage everyone to change their stinking thinking if for some reason they don't think they can do this, and go ahead and just make the goal, make the leap, take a leap of faith to know that it is possible for anyone to earn this trip. And so the first thing I would love for you to do is print off a picture of Atlantis, and I want you to post this picture everywhere. So print off a picture, and then in the bottom you can actually leave some space where you can specifically write down each month what you actually need to do to attain this phenomenal trip. They say that no one can stop a man or a woman with a plan because no one has a plan to stop it. So go ahead and write that goal down and make it clear, make it specific. A vague goal will produce vague results. So you need to be specific to be terrific and to earn this trip to Atlantis. And so write that down, and I want you to post the picture and your goal everywhere. In your car, I want you to post it by your nightstand, in your bathroom, on your refrigerator. And so not only post it, but start talking about it. Look up Atlantis, see what there's to do. Start making plans about the different activities you and your husband or your special other you plan to take will be doing there. Start making it a regular conversation and start dreaming about being there. I would even go so far as to find two great, bodies and put your heads on them and, just put yourself right in this picture. Just put your actual photo right on this photo to visualize yourself being there. Close those eyes and really see it in your mind's eye, because your mind cannot tell the difference of reality when you start to visualize. It is that powerful. So I know you've probably heard about the Harvard study, but in studying MBAs from Harvard, they found out that 84% of the people from Harvard did not have a specific goal. 13% had a goal, but it wasn't committed to paper. And then only 3% had a goal that was actually written down. And in studying those people, they found that those 3% that actually had written their goals down were the ones that were making multi-millions more than the others. They had a plan and they worked their plan. They had a specific goal, not a vague goal. A specific goal will produce specific results. So you want to write that down. And to go a step further, only 1% of them actually wrote that goal down, and folded that piece of paper up and carried it with them. I want to encourage you to carry your Atlantis goal everywhere, in your purse, in your pocket, in your notebook. Carry it with you. Let's start talking about it and let's make it happen. So the next thing I want to talk about, besides writing your goal, making that goal, making it specific, knowing what you need and visualizing it and speaking about it, the next thing I want to talk about is why you need to be there. I'm just going to tell you, I have been on several Arbonne trips and they are always over the top. The next one is always better than the last one, and they just treat you like royalty. So besides going to the best of best, which is Atlantis, this time they have breakfast, lunch, dinner inclusive with a drink package. How awesome is that? And not only that, every time you go on an AIT trip with Arbonne, they gift you towels and sunscreen and a new cool bag to carry around. They just really treat you right. I mean, you just ask my husband. He's like, "Hon, where are we going this year?" And so besides, you just need to be there because the trip is fantastic, over the top. You need the break. So as a mom, I do have 5 kids, 3 still at home. But as a mom, I don't know if I could, actually book a 6-day trip away from my kids. But when you win it, you just make it happen. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, for your marriage, for your relationships, it's so good to get that time away together and just be able to relax. I mean, my husband and I have been so used to taking a 2 or a 3-day quick trip, but by the time we just got, relaxed and ready to enjoy it, we had to go back. And so you just have to go. It's so amazing, not only for your mind, but for your marriage. And so also, lastly, it's a phenomenal time to mix with other leaders in the industry. I know this last trip that Jesse and I were on, just over the top fantastic, but I was sunbathing on the deck and look up, and right next to me is Debbie Neal. How cool is that? And I just started chatting with her and had just a fantastic conversation about growing the business. And, you know, just her tip of how much the success of this business is based on personal development, developing yourself, and then reaching out and coaching and training and developing the leaders and people below you. Invaluable. And so I just want to say, if you think you can, if you think you can't, you're right. And if you think you can't, change that stinking thinking and come along with us to AIT 2016 Atlantis. You will be glad you did. I think you can. So sorry I'm coming to you via video. My husband had a very important meeting tonight that he asked me that if I would join him. And that's the one thing about Arbonne. We always put family first. So thank you, Andy and Jesse, for understanding in the team. But exciting things are happening.
Okay. Let me make sure this video does not play. All right, so I am going to wrap up. I don't know how I follow her. Wasn't her skin fabulous? We got a very close-up vision of it. Visual. There we go. So I wanted to end the talk about AIT with my personal experience, and obviously I can second everything that Angela said, but here's some of my biggest takeaways. I didn't really know what to expect from this trip because this is the first one that I got to go on, and so I'm thinking, you know, it's a free vacation for 7 days with my husband, no kids. So I brought a lot of books. And I maybe read a total of 3 pages the entire time. So it was not a reading vacation. You're just surrounded by consultants who are actively building their businesses, because no one earns the trip if they aren't growing their central district and promoting out leaders. That's just the nature of it. So you're surrounded by a bunch of driven, motivated business builders and leaders, which is awesome. And so, you know, on the same hand, you meet consultants who have or are having or have had the same struggles and fears as you, as me. So you just gain a much bigger perspective of what this business is and isn't. And the other thing that I should point out is that if you have a skeptical or unsupportive spouse or significant other, then you need to earn this trip. My husband really saw what this business does for consultants and their families because of this trip. We were on our way home and still in the airport or in the plane, and he was going through ideas that he could better support me in building my business, which is huge for anyone that has had arguments about building this business. That's huge. So, you know, not only do you gain a bigger perspective, but so does the person supporting you in this as well. And I really could go on and on and on about all the fabulous things about the trip. But the last thing that I wanted to mention tonight as one of my biggest takeaways is really the lifelong friends that I made on this trip from here in the US and also multiple from Australia. I mean, these are women who are where I want to be and really can use them as yet another sounding board in this business as I'm growing. So, you know, RVPs and women you are listening to on SoundCloud and reading their Ion Arbons like Donna Bradley. I spent a ton of time with her. I spent time with Camilla Eves. And that's just, a couple of the big names that if you've been around any amount of time, you've heard. So it was just cool. I mean, you realize that we, including all of you, are all ordinary people striving to do extraordinary things. So go for the trip. Let's go to Atlantis.
Thank you so much, Jessie and Angela. Wasn't that great, you guys? So something I want to just add on to so much that they've said, but this is Arbonne inclusive. It's normally not, but it's Arbonne inclusive. So Arbonne is making sure that we all have an incredible experience. I was talking to Tamara on our team who has 5 kids, and I was mentioning like you can earn the trip at level 5 and get this $1,000 cash back so you can buy tickets for kids, but with 5 she couldn't take all of them. So I said, you can just let them know you're having tryouts for favorites to see who's going to go and see, down to the wire. I think lots of bars are going to be raised in the house, however you want to incentivize or just get commissioned to fly them all. I'm totally joking. We don't have favorites, right? We don't have favorites. One other thing on the managers that Jessie mentioned, you can absolutely count. If you start someone and they become a district manager during that qualification period, that counts as a promotion. If that person promotes to area manager during the qualification, that counts as another promotion. So you can only count, but each leg of your business, you can only count 1 promotion to district, 1 promotion to area, if that makes sense. So really, I love how this, when they changed this back a few years ago, it teaches us to build width, but it also gets us focused on building leaders and getting people to area managers. So keep that in mind. And my favorite memory from Atlantis, the year that I went with Arbonne, my husband was not able to go, so my mom went with me on that trip, and we just had a blast to be able to give that back to her. But they have what's called the leap of faith. And if you've not, you need to Google the leap of faith, because I promise you that one thing alone will be worth going on the trip. You walk up this pyramid that literally looks like it's in the clouds when you get to the top. And there is a slide that comes straight. It feels like it's coming straight down, no incline, straight down. And then it shoots out through a slide that is in a pool with sharks swimming in it. So you're basically like looking down. And I remember I was at the top and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot even see. And I think my sister pushed me. I really do. But luckily, there's enough incline when you get going down, and heart just went right down into my gut and back up. But you guys, that was hard. If anybody's afraid of heights, that was hard. And you want to wear something that's got some good straps on it, because I'm going to tell you, all those little, J-Lo is on my picture. She borrowed my body for this shot. You don't want to wear skimpy. You're going to come out the other side of that shark tank and you're just going to be like, no drawers. Okay. So get a good swimsuit, solid. You can still look hot. And so thank you so much. I'm going to download that picture tonight and get it all over the place, but I'm so excited. So the one action you all need to take tonight, other than download that picture, is go register for the trip. Do it before you forget. I promise you'll be sick to your stomach if it's January 1st and you're like, oh my gosh, I was so busy, I forgot to do that in December. So thank you so much. I think what we'll do is we're going to stop the recording, or we could open it up for a couple questions if you are okay with that, Jessie.
Yeah, so do you want me to stop the recording or keep it going?
If it's okay with everybody, and if it's 8:32, so if somebody needs to jump off, they sure can, but we'll open it up if anyone has questions for Miss Jessie.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I just unmuted everybody.
Hi, Jessie. This is Carrie in Virginia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I had a quick question. I heard you mention some detail about if you registered now in December that the August count, so August 16 volume would be as...
I did not clarify that, and I apologize. August 2015, this past August.
Oh, okay.
Your volume counts because it goes through the end of May, and that's when the qualification period ends. So no volume after that will count.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question.
So, yeah, thank you. And if you just started, then and you weren't in the business in August, then that won't be a benefit. But Jesse, where were you at in the business the first time that you earned the trip? Can you remember your first trip?
You know what? I earned enough volume, and I missed by one promotion for the Cabo trip, and then that trip ended up getting canceled because of the hurricane. But I had enough volume for that one, and I was a district manager.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I ended up promoting to area in that qualification period.
Highway. Any other questions for Jesse? If you don't have a question and there's background noise, you can just go ahead and mute. Or a toilet running or water.
Andy and everybody. I went to Atlantis my first trip with Arbie, and hi guys, this is Megan, and I qualified as a district manager. But by the time we actually went on the trip, I was in a brand new area. It was like my first area month. So you can absolutely do earn this trip as a district, and you'll see what it'll do to your business. So it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But we're riding with an Atlantis pen.
Yes.
I did not steal that. It jumped in my bag.
Yes. And you can earn this as a consultant, really, just what Jesse hit on. Remember, when you promote and you're doing the system of building a team with you, each district that promotes out from each district that you personally promote, that's going to count for volume, and that is huge. So really, the smart way to do this is focus on finding business builders, making sure that's a part that your calendar is full to do that with your 6 to 8 group presentations. So it's not any different than what we normally do, but we want to make sure that everyone's got those numbers and the focus and that vision for it.
Mm-hmm.
Dan is behind Molly and he's waving. Hi, Dan. Any other questions? We're going to have a horrible time, I'm just saying. So, if you don't like to laugh and you're just like, I'd rather just stay home and
deal with your children
and make macaroni necklaces and whatever, then do it. But come and party with us. And by party, I mean, I'm in bed by 9:30. So not the night owl. 10 o'clock. And I'd stay up till 10. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, Jesse. Again, thank you for all of your work putting that together. And let's go rock it, you guys.
Yeah.
Yay. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.